Aren't you playing tonight?
I'm playing here against Jake again.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not in any leagues right now because I'm moving.
Oh, well that's him then, right?
Yeah, I bought a house on their lake.
Yeah, right.
So I'm supposed to close tomorrow, but
Oh my goodness.
of course I didn't hear anything.
Oh
Again.
Jesus.
The lawyer on the seller's side, he's from New York City. The lawyer's a New York City lawyer.
What's up with that, man?
Well, they've been yelling at him, and he's just like, I'll get it done.
Are you guys playing it on stream?
Yeah,
Jake,
it's supposed to be at 6, I thought.
What did you play? 9?
I think so. He's calling the game.
Okay.
I think he was going to call 9 more.
Okay. Why is he calling?
Oh, because we played one pocket Monday,
Okay. So the second time.
and I told him I'd let him call it. Because he doesn't play one pocket. Not really fair to him,
Okay. I think it's going to be 9 ball then.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So, do you need one more time or you're good to start at 6?
I'm good, sir.
Just trying to get the GoPro working. It's been kind of early. I just went out
No, Monday was work.
Let's see if I can get it to work out and then just do it out.
A couple times it was after 4
It's not reliable. The company is not supporting it on its own. They're about to go bankrupt.
Oh, yeah. Not that many people. Not that many people here.
It seems to be working out.
here, I'll finish off the striking balls and you can warm up for a minute.
All right.
All right, good evening, everybody. We are live from Billiard Breakdown here in Rochester, New York. My name is Paul Jacob. I'll be doing commentary for today's match. We have a top 15 players in Rochester, New York match today. We have our number 7 ranked young and upcoming Jake Jackson, 16 years old, but a phenomenal player, going up against Kirk Foley, who's currently ranked number 5. So we're going to be starting in about a minute or so. The players are getting ready to lag. Today's game will be a race to 9 in 9-ball pool. Very recently, Jake Jackson played Kirk Foley in 1 pocket and was unable to beat him, but this time Kirk is allowed 9-ball. So it's going to be quite an interesting game today. Can Kirk Foley keep his number 5 rank today? The players are racing to 9. Jake Jackson wins the lag and will be taking the first break. In the chat, we have a very early entrant, a fan of Kirk Foley, Michael Goldberg, Mickey Goldberg. Hey Mickey, how's it going? Good to see that you're tuning in. Mickey says, nice, go get him, Kirk. Mickey used to play a lot of 1 pocket with Kirk Foley when he was in Rochester, but Mickey is no longer with us in Rochester, but he is watching the stream, so glad you're watching, Mickey. Hope things are going good with you. Congratulations on doing really well in that tournament recently. So today should be a fun game. Let's see what kind of outcome we see today. While we're bright and early, we'll start a poll who's going to win this match. So who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be Kirk Foley, aka Captain Kirk, or Jake the Snake Jackson? So we've started a live poll. So let us know who you think will win this game. Is it going to be Captain Kirk Foley or Jake the Snake? We have Damon Betlow in the chat, who has offered a early bet here. He says he'll take Jake for $20. All right, we'll see if we have any takers for you, Damon. Jake unable to start a run here, but he plays a sort of a passive safe on the 1 ball. Unfortunately, he doesn't leave it safe, and Kirk should be able to pot the 1 ball in the bottom right corner pocket with a little bit of stun to hold for the 2 in the top left corner pocket. But unfortunately, Kirk misses. Has he missed well? Not quite. Jake the Snake has a chance here. Wide open layout. Just has to swing around the 2 to play it in the same pocket as the 1. She does really well. Good angle on the 2 to just naturally roll up to the left rail and back for the 3 in the bottom right corner pocket. And everything else looks pretty open, so potential for a good run here. Jake just screws out softly there. Very good shot. It's a decent stroke here to screw back just enough for the 4. And where's the cue ball going? Not a good early start for Jake the Snake Jackson. He scratches. We have in the chat Corey Payne, aka Bodyguard Corey. He asks if there's not a league there tonight, or is it just early? So Corey, it's pretty quiet in here. I'm not sure if there's a league tonight. It's only 6 o'clock. I don't know if they haven't started, but it's been pretty quiet here so far. So I'm guessing probably no leagues tonight on Wednesday. Last night was very busy here. We had our Billiard Breakdown League, the 3-man league. That was a lot of fun. We also had USAPL League and APA, so Tuesday evenings are quite busy at Billiard Breakdown, but today seems to be pretty quiet. Kirk Foley, with the ball in hand, can he run this out and take the first game? Kirk going 3 rails around, but is he going to get past the 9? It looks like he's done it. Let's check the overhead here. Looks like Kirk has just enough space to go past the 9 and pot the 8 ball. Should be able to use a little bit of follow here to play the 9 in the opposite pocket. Kirk's taking his time. He's going to try to play maybe a stop shot and just take whatever angle he gets. Not going to do too much with the cue ball. So he might just roll it forward a little bit and take a slightly tougher cut on the 9 to guarantee the 8. Doesn't want to force it and rattle the 8. So good shot required here from Kirk. Ideally, he'd have a good position to play the easy shot on the 9, but this should be okay. Not the easiest shot, but it's not terrible either, but it is missable. Can Kirk get the first game here? And Kirk misses the 9 ball. Wow. Kirk unable to make that back shot for the 9 in the bottom left corner pocket and leaves Jake the Snake. A cuttable shot for the 9 into the same pocket he shot at. Jake should have this no problem. Well done to Jake Jackson. Jake takes the first game after scratching and giving ball in hand and a 5 ball out to Kirk Foley, who unfortunately choked on the 9 ball. So it's going to be Jake here who doesn't get punished for a scratch early on in this match after Kirk misses the 9 ball and leaves it over the pocket. It's a good start for Jake Jackson. Jake is an aspiring junior player. He plays in a lot of tournaments and big events. He's 16 years old and he's quite a solid player, so a very promising up-and-coming young player in Rochester, New York. Kirk has been around for quite a while. Kirk is one of the old-timers here. He plays a lot of 1 pocket. That's his game. And he likes playing 8 ball as well. And Jake Jackson is not much of a 1 pocket player. So Kirk was very gracious to allow 9-ball, which is going to be one of Jake's stronger games compared to Kirk. And Jake pots a ball. Pots what looks like the 7-ball. Does he have a shot on the 1-ball? The 2-6 might be a potential combination, so is a 2-3. The 1-ball might need to bank into the right side, into the left side pocket. So a good bank shot required here if he's going for the pot, if not a safety. But I think Jake's going for the bank here, and he misses it. But doesn't leave an easy shot for Kirk. So Jake going for the very aggressive bank to begin the run with, but misses the first bank. Kirk faced with a tough back shot for the 1-ball in the bottom left corner pocket. And Kirk doesn't quite get it, but the outcome is quite good. Kirk seems to have gotten a safety out of this. Not quite sure if Kirk played the pot or the safety there. He played the speed in such a way that it worked out very well for him, but Jake is able to kick and make contact, and the 1-ball rolls into a fairly safe position. Kirk will likely play a good safety here. There's a couple targets he can use. The easier target is to get the cue ball behind that 4-ball on the right side of the table. Pink 4. Can he bury the cue ball behind it and send the 1 down table? Kirk instead chooses to send it the other direction, and it doesn't look like he's got quite a shot. He hasn't got a safety here. We have Michael Lin in the chat, aka Billiard Breakdown, aka Asian Shaw, and he says good luck to both players. Thanks, Mike. And Mike says he got jiu-jitsu at 6:30. So Michael Lin doing all the martial arts here. He's doing MMA and now jiu-jitsu. Are you going to be coming in later, Mike? So Jake Jackson makes a good pot there. And he's finished a little awkward on the 3-ball. So this is a missable cut. Not the easiest shot here, but with fairly natural 2-rail shape to get on the 4. Just has to play the speed well and not get snookered behind the 6-ball. But Jake misses. Jake misses, and it looks like he's left the 3-ball open for Kirk Foley. Kirk here again with a good chance. This is quite a wide open layout, no real issues. Just natural center ball should work for this to go up to the top rail and back. But Kirk misses a fairly straightforward shot on the 3-ball, so Kirk's not quite shooting the way he should. Mike asked how I got the overhead working. Mike, I basically disconnected it from the computer. I tried to connect it to my phone. It told me it needed a power reboot. I unplugged it and turned off the power, turned it back on, connected it to my phone again, made sure it was working, and then connected it to the computer and used the remote. It seemed to work. So, quite a few steps, but it seems to be working for now. Really good bank shot by Kirk Foley there. Beautiful shot. Well done to Kirk with position on the 4-ball. That was a really good inverse bank. Take a look at it again. But unfortunately, Kirk unable to make the 4-ball. But has he left it safe for Jake Jackson? And Jake kicks it, but makes contact, but does not get safe. Michael Lin says he tried the same thing, but it didn't work for him. Indian touch is different. That's right. You heard it here first. The Indian touch makes everything work. Agent Shaw, unable to get the same level of IT tech support from himself. But that's why we're here. So Kirk now, with a back shot on the 5 ball, might go into the 9 ball here. It's a possibility. And he's gone into it in a very good way. So going into the 9 ball helped out Kirk here. Now Kirk has a solid shot on the 6 ball, and with a very natural shape on the 8 ball to the top left corner pocket. But Kirk Foley almost misses and rattles the 6, but it drops. He'll be relieved. Just a soft screw back shot here, or just a stop shot will do here to play the 9 in the center. But wow, Kirk Foley missing a fairly easy straight 8 ball. What is going on with Kirk? Practically giving the game away to Jake Jackson. Wow. Jake Jackson should be able to finish this game. He's ended up a little funny on the 9 ball, but he should be okay. It's a tough cut, but it's makeable. Wonder if he's going to just bank this instead. The bank is also on. Cut or bank, he needs to make the 9 ball to go up 2-0. But Jake Jackson misses the cut. Wow. A lot of really uncharacteristic misses. Okay, that shot was fairly difficult for Jake, but Jake also had the option to bank it, and it would have been a more straightforward bank. But either way, Kirk comes back to the table. Can he make one good shot to equalize the score? And he can't. And he leaves the 9 ball hanging. Wow. The score is now 2-0. Let's look at that miss from Kirk Foley. That was uncharacteristic. But wow, Kirk Foley. And then that was followed by a miss by Jake Jackson on the 9, and then a miss by Kirk. Kirk did make a really good bank shot earlier, where he cross-banked the 3 ball into the right side pocket, but then missed an easy 4 ball. So quite a interesting game here. It's quite scrappy. Both players missing relatively easy shots. So let's see if they can both kind of get in the groove here and play some good pool. Jake Jackson with an early 2-0 lead. The score is 2-0, and our poll with 3 votes has 100%, 3 out of 3 votes in favor of Jake the Snake. Good break by Jake, but is the 3 ball going to get in the way of a shot on the 1? Looks like Jake should be able to see the 1 ball. Potting it is tricky. It might pot in the bottom left corner pocket. And that would be a very aggressive shot to go for if Jake goes for it. The side pocket is also available. And that's what he's gone for. Really well played. But now Jake doesn't really have a direct shot on the 3 ball. He could play the 3-7 combination, which is what he's looking at. And if he does so, he's likely to have a shot on the 3 ball afterwards, as long as he places with a relatively medium pace. And Jake Jackson unable to make that combination shot, but he leaves 3 ball for Kirk Foley. Leaves just enough of an angle for Kirk to screw back with a little bit of bottom right to get on the 4 ball. So Kirk will have to shoot this with bottom right. A little bit of right, but mostly bottom. Looks like he's going mostly right. Let's see if he can get on the 4 ball, avoiding the 5. Kirk just chooses to take a longer shot on the 4-ball, which is fine. But he's slightly hampered by the 8-ball. Has to bridge over it a little bit, but should be fine. Doesn't want to go into the 7-ball here on the way back. But Kirk once again misses. Kirk with a few more misses than is characteristic for him. Jake Jackson can see the 4-ball. Not an easy pot at all, but he should be able to play good safety here. Split the balls. And it looks like he's leaked it out just a little bit. Kirk Foley with a shot for the 4-ball into the side pocket. Can he make it? Great shot by Kirk. Very well played. Good judging of the pace there to hold for the 5. So now Kirk should be very easily be able to make position on the 6 just by rolling the cue ball forward. He wants to leave himself a slight angle on the 6 so he can stun into the short rail at the bottom and come up for the 7-ball. The 8-ball and the 9-ball are both close to that 3rd diamond on the rails, but Kirk has a really good chance to run out. Kirk placed that line a little close to that 6-ball. And as a result, he's cut the zone very close to the 6 and now has a very tricky cut shot if he's going for a cut. So this is not an easy cut. It's quite a sharp cut and very missable. And the pace on the cue ball is hard to judge, so getting on the 7 is not guaranteed. And he leaves it hanging over the pocket. Even if he had made that ball, the cue ball would not have landed in a great position for the 7. So Jake the Snake, with another gifted chance there, should be very easily be able to screw out to get on the 7. Nudging the 8-ball is probably not a bad thing here. Now Jake has to get on the 8-ball, so there's a couple ways he can do it. He can screw out with the little bottom, punch off the top short rail and come down into the line for the 8 in the top of the corner pocket. And he rattles the 7-ball. Wow. What a miss by Jake Jackson. Will he get another chance in this frame, or will Kirk Foley run this out? He needs to. Jake Jackson is up 2 frames. And Jake is making a lot of mistakes, but Kirk seems to be making a few more at this moment. And where is the cue ball going? Unbelievable. What a rocky start. Especially for Kirk, but also Jake. A lot of misses, a lot of scratches. Jake Jackson should be able to clear this 2-ball out with ball in hand and quite easily bring the score up to 3-0. Jake is going to shoot the 9-ball with some distance, but I don't expect it to be too much of a problem for him. He should be able to pot this and make the score 3-0. But wow! Jake Jackson misses a straight-in shot on the 9. Both players missing so many shots in the early part of this match. Kirk, come on Kirk, you've got to punish these mistakes, Kirk. Can Kirk make this 9-ball? He does. Really well done to Kirk for making the 9-ball where it counts. And the score is now 1-2 after a lot of misses. It was so unfortunate, but also very strange. Kirk scratched on the 7-ball in that game, gave ball in hand on an 8-9 out, so 2-ball out. Jake shoots the 8 and rolls up a little far from the 9, a straight shot, and misses it. So missing a 2-ball out with ball in hand is not characteristic of Jake. So something's up with both players. They're not shooting very well at the moment. But now Kirk is in this game. Can he step it up? and put some pressure on Jake. Mistakes need to be punished at this level. And the number of mistakes we've been seeing has been rather high. Might be that both players just need to like get settled in here. Kirk Foley with the first break in this match, with his first break. He breaks dry. Jake with a somewhat difficult starter shot. Putting it is not terrible, but making position on the 2 is fairly tricky. I'll have to go 2 rails around for the 2 in the top right corner pocket. But he gets it. Jake Jackson with another relatively medium difficulty shot here. 2 ball in the bottom left corner pocket. Should be able to screw out for the 3 into the left side. But he misses. Pretty disappointed with himself. That was not the easiest shot. It's a fairly difficult shot there. But he's left Kirk an easy cut into the top right corner pocket. Mickey Goldberg in the chat says, is that the Snake Charmer Paul in the booth? Should be a new nickname. Mickey Goldberg calls me a Snake Charmer. Is that because I'm from India, Mickey? If I am a Snake Charmer, what is Mickey Goldberg? I already have a nickname, Mickey. It's Jake Paul. Kirk Foley on the 3 ball, he let's see what he does with the 4. He'll have to roll up and try to play the 4 ball in the bottom left corner pocket. Mickey says, isn't Jake the snake? That's right, Jake is the snake, but I'm not charming him. Let's see if Kirk can do it and subdue the snake and keep his number 5 title. But that's quite a bad miss there because he's left it over the pocket. Jake the Snake should be able to pot this 4 ball without any issues. And should be able to get around, go between the 5 and the 6. Jake plays an interesting positional shot here. Is he going for the 5-9 combination? Certainly looks like he is. Can Jake pull off a combination shot for an early win here? 5 to the 9. And he doesn't quite get it. Good try though. But what's he left here? Wow. Oh, how the turns table. Does Kirk Foley have a combination shot from the 5 to the 9? It's hard to tell if there's a direct combination shot or if it's a 3-ball combination, 5 to the 7 to the 9. Either way, something seems to be on. Looks like he's looking at the 3-ball combination. 5 to the 7 to the 9. It's tough. 3 balls with a fair amount of space between them. Certainly not the easiest combination shot. And Kirk Foley doesn't make contact with the 7 and leaves the 5 ball open for Jake Jackson. Jake should be out here, especially if the 7 passes, but it doesn't look like the 7 passes the 9. So Jake here will either have to play for a 7-9 combination or will have to play to get to the other side of the 7 to shoot it in an alternative pocket. So let's see what he does here. A couple options. He could screw back and play the 7 into the top right corner pocket or the bottom right corner pocket. But he's just playing for the 7-9 combination, which is smart. Certainly a very makeable shot here. If he does, the score will be 3 to 1. Really well done to Jake Jackson. The score is now 3-1 with a good early 9-ball there. Let's look at that again. Score is now 3-1. Let's look at that really good combination shot on the 9-ball that Jake did to win this frame. Really well done to Jake Jackson. The score is now 3. Our poll has changed a little bit. We have 5 votes, 60% in favor of Jake the Snake and 40% in favor of Captain Kirk. So we have 3 people for Jake and 2 for Captain Kirk. Still fairly early in this game. Both players making a fair amount of mistakes. Can they tighten it up and give each other a challenge? Really good break by Jake Jackson. What a break. Wow. We've got to see this break again. That was a really good break. Solid break by Jake Jackson. Pockets 4 balls on the break. But Jake misses the 2-ball as he left it safe. Kirk Foley, also unable to make the 2-ball, leaves it open for Jake Jackson, so Jake gets another chance here.
Yeah, I know everybody does.
Kirk having a conversation with someone off table, and Jake Jackson reaching for his extension. Let's look at that break by Jake Jackson again. That was a phenomenal break. Really good break by Jake Jackson. What a break. Wow. Really, really good break by Jake Jackson there. Unfortunate for him, he didn't run out there, but he's back at the table, and that's what counts.
Next game, I'm more worried about stopping the 2-ball. Stop the 2-ball for 9 mistake. Doesn't do you no good if it don't make the ball.
Jake does really good to get position on the 4-ball, pink 4-ball. Should be able to just play a soft stop shot or even a small screw there to get on the 5 into the opposite side pocket. But he over screws it a little bit. The tables have just been freshly refelted with Simonis 860 shark gray cloth, so they are quite reactive. So that would explain Jake Jackson getting a little too much backspin there, but he recovers very beautifully and should be able to roll forward for the 9 and make the score 4-1. So Jake is expected to clear this out.
Boring bars?
I had 2. I had both vertical.
Almost misses it, but makes it no problem.
That was just foolishness.
And the score is now 4-1. Jake Jackson with a commanding 3-game lead in this race to 9 against number 5, Kirk Foley.
Now I'm a school boy. Good job.
Now I think I'm a YouTube addict.
Yeah.
That's what I can do
Oh,
most
I
of the
know.
time.
I don't watch any TV. My TV's always on.
I don't even have cable right now.
We got.
When I got my divorce and did this part, I didn't want to stay there, so I
He's
made
got
it.
his tablet.
I didn't even unpack. No TV, no nothing. So I got my
So
ass
Kirk
out of
having a
there
conversation on the side while Jake Jackson steamrolls ahead.
right away.
Score is 4-1. Jake Jackson to break in the 6th frame of this race to 9 and 9-ball pool here at Billiard Breakdown.
Nothing back.
Now I know somebody there. I can
Jake
come
smiles
back my
about
boat.
something. And let's see if he can do another really good break like the last one.
If you want some time, I'll go launch my boat. I got a nice fish.
Quite a good pop, and again, another fairly good break.
Yeah,
Can he see the 2-ball? Yes, he can, but the 2-ball may not pass into the bottom of the corner pocket. Let's look at it.
I got 3 that time.
The 2-7 seems to be on. Playing the 2-7 will push the 2-ball towards the bottom right side of the table. If he's able to keep the cue ball on the bottom left side, he should have a shot on the 2-ball to the bottom right corner pocket right after the shot.
It's right off the canal that goes through Silver Beach area.
And that's exactly what he does. So well done to Jake for judging that
Where the
well.
canal turns into Fish Creek.
That is a challenge with combination
Fish are
shots,
running.
controlling the outcome
They're
of
in
2
the-
balls
like,
after.
The water looks like it's boiling. There's
More like a spring it.
Very nicely done. Looks like Jake is starting to shoot a little more confidently and fluently.
You're right on the water there.
So this could be dangerous for Kirk if he lets Jake get away. Kirk really needs to start bearing down and run out when he gets a chance.
It does, but I'm going to fix it. It's kind
You're
of
going to
bad.
get a ball.
Yeah, I'm going to get a ball eventually.
Jake Jackson with the potential break and run here
Nice brick wall, 'cause I
to make
bought
the score
some
5-1.
I'm going to build another house. The house
And
there is really small.
really good line there. Is he going to get too close?
I'm out there in the middle of nowhere.
No, he isn't.
So I wanna
Really well done to Jake.
drive half an hour.
Another good shot, and he should be able to play this
What do you think?
possibly with a touch of top left.
For a table.
Full table or no?
Or he could screw back, but has to avoid the right side
I've
pocket.
been looking at them and
Looks like he's going low on the cue ball.
Grasses are pretty expensive. Or no,
Stands
grasses
out,
are a little
takes a
cheaper,
longer shot on the 9 ball.
but
Not risking anything too crazy with the cue ball. If he
Yeah.
makes this 9 ball,
He's a dealer.
it will be a break and run, the first break and run in this match. And he will be up 5-1. Can Jake Jackson finish it out with a break and run here?
Yeah, I'm not ready yet. I got to build the house first.
Yeah. And, you know, when they
And he
have
certainly
the
does. Really good break and run by Jake Jackson. Shutting out Kirk from the table.
Well, let him in there.
Well, what's going on?
Because they say they're losing money to,
Well, you know what's going on? Dave actually told me there's a new person running the place, and she's not very good.
Well, they say it's, they want to have the tournament like Monday through Thursday.
Looks like the players are talking about something else unrelated.
Not
They're-
spending enough money.
They're saying the reason. Dave says the reason. He heard from Douglas the reason why all this weird stuff is happening because of the new lady that's running all that stuff. But he says those people only last like once every 3 years or something. So he's saying they might hold up.
So we have in the chat Corey Payne, bodyguard Corey, asking why did Kirk stick to holding him with 1 pocket? So Kirk already played 1 pocket with Jake Jackson and beat him. And I talked to Kirk right before the match, and he said Kirk said that he offered Jake his choice for the next game. I think Kirk was just being, being fairly courteous there, because he knows that Jake is not a 1 pocket player and didn't want to stifle his chances. So that was pretty nice of Kirk to allow Jake Jackson to choose the game in the second set.
He just puts the $2,000 up himself.
So
What he does is puts
quite good, very kind from Kirk. But did Kirk have to? No, he didn't have to. Kirk could have chosen to play 1 pocket here as well. So Jake Jackson with some really good breaks now. Can he make another really good break, giving him another chance for a break and run?
$1 of every 10, and a fund to keep the tables nice.
Yeah.
You know, take care of the
This
cloth
time,
and all
Jake
that
Jackson
stuff.
breaks try. Kirk
You
Foley
haven't been there lately,
comes to the
have
table, but doesn't have a clear shot on the 1. May push, may play a safety of some sort.
This weekend, I've heard about being used this weekend.
Because he just aired it on 4,000 feet. It's the best pool room we've ever been in, anyway.
Really?
Score is 5-1. Jake with a big lead. Can Kirk respond and put some pressure on Jake? Kirk plays quite a passive safety. Doesn't really get a safety, but the 1 ball
Jake says the only one that
isn't easy to pocket here,
he's been in
unless
Saturday
Jake goes for a bank shot.
Corner banks up in Toronto. It's pretty famous.
Jake tries to cut it in, but doesn't quite get the cut angle right.
Yeah, I mean to get out there all the time.
It leaves the 1 ball over the side pocket. I believe Kirk should be able to cut this 1 ball in, and in doing so he may choose to go into the 2 with the 1 ball, pushing it towards the bottom left corner pocket. So touchy shot here. Kirk wants to go into the 2, but at an angle that pushes it towards that corner pocket, the bottom left. So he has to
think they had
Use
33.
use a little bit of draw here to get that right angle. Not too much though.
32 or 30. Right.
But Kirk instead chooses to try to cut it into the bottom left corner pocket, and is now faced with a relatively challenging shot on the 2 ball, either in the bottom left or bottom right corner pocket. Bottom right probably is going to be his choice, but it looks like he's going for the bottom left with a little screw to bring the cue ball out between the 7 and the 4. But Kirk doesn't get it and sells out. Leaves the 2 ball over the pocket, giving Jake Jackson another chance here. Can Jake Jackson run out and make the score 6-1? Jake nudges into the 3 ball and will now have to play a 3-8 combination. Instead, he plays a safety, which is a good shot if he's gotten it. But has he? I don't think he's gotten the safety. Kirk might be able to cut this 3 ball in. And in doing so, he has fairly natural shape on the 4 ball to the right side pocket. So it looks like Kirk can cut this in. But he undercuts it. Kirk shakes his head in disappointment. And Jake Jackson not getting punished for his mistakes. Can he clear it out? Really good line by Jake. Should be able to screw out just a little bit. Play the 5 in the bottom right corner pocket. Getting on the 6 is the only challenge here. But Jake just uses 3 rails to go with outside over there. Gets on the 5, no problem. And has quite a natural angle to stun into the right long rail and back out to play the 6 ball in the top right corner pocket. So just a soft stun needed here. He doesn't want to end up on the rail. See the angle. It's fairly straight, so Jake might just roll forward very softly. Slight forward spin. And he does that really well. Has a perfect angle on the 6 to stun out to play the 7 in the bottom right corner pocket. Alternatively, he can draw to play the 7 ball into the right side pocket, so 2 options available. And Jake Jackson rattles and misses the 6 ball and leaves it open. What a mistake by Jake Jackson. Can Kirk punish him for it? Can Kirk Foley run this out? Quite a fairly natural run out here. This top spin required here to go up into the short rail and back down for the 7 in the right side pocket. Doesn't have to do too much here for the cue ball. Quite a natural angle. Needs a slight angle on the 7 to stun out for the 8 ball in the top right corner pocket. And well done to Kirk. He's just about perfect on the 7 ball. Kirk will have to screw back, draw back a little bit to play the 8 ball into the top right corner pocket, leaving himself a small angle ideally to get on the 9. It looks like Kirk may be rolling forward. What was that? I'm not sure what Kirk was trying to do there, but he has a shot on the 8 ball. A little trickier of a cut, but if he makes this, he'll likely be on the 9, so just has to pot this ball, play it with a relatively soft pace. But Kirk misses it by quite a margin and leaves a sitting duck for Jake Jackson. Jake has a little bit of an angle here, so he should be able to play on the 9 ball. And Jake Jackson screws back into the right side pocket. What is going on, guys? Jake Jackson and Kirk Foley making quite a lot of mistakes here, especially in the later stage of the game. I'm not sure what happened with Jake there. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. He might have been trying to avoid the side pocket and stun out, screw into very close to the side pocket to get on the 9, but now Kirk Foley has a chance and should be able to bring the score up back to 2-5. That he does. Well done to Kirk.
That is
quite a scrappy start to this match. Jake is quite far ahead, but Jake arguably did give away 2 matches by some really late stage scratches. So not sure what's going on with both players. Maybe it's a little early in the day.
Well, you know what? They have these. No, they wouldn't.
Kirk Foley to break. Quite a good break by Kirk Foley. Looks like he has a shot on the 1 ball. 3 goes right over the pocket. 2 will easily pot into the left side pocket.
Oh, really?
So well done to Kirk for a good start here. Holding for the 2 into the left side pocket might be tricky, so Kirk may choose to have to play the 2-3 combo. It all depends on the pace he has here. And Kirk overcuts that. And Jake Jackson has a really good layout with no issues whatsoever. Everything's wide open. 1, 2, 3 are fairly automatic. 3 to the 4 is not too bad.
Probably won't be on the board anymore.
That's what we're talking about on the way here.
5 to the 6 is the only potentially problematic area, but again, doesn't pose too much of a challenge. So Jake Jackson with a wide open layout. Maybe has a good angle to stun out for the 5 to shoot it in the bottom left corner pocket, but has to avoid getting snookered by the 9, so he doesn't want to stun out too much. Jake Jackson goes into, what a shot. That was a really good positional shot by Jake Jackson. Well done, barely misses the 5 and then uses the 9 as a stopper to get just about perfect on the 5. Very good positional shot by Jake Jackson. Spins a little too much there, but he's okay. Jake Jackson will just have to avoid going into the 9 on the way back up table. He has to go either around the 9 or avoid it altogether. So Jake needs to take his time on the shot. Has to judge the pace and the line perfectly.
This is not my fault. I thought everything else was
9 is what he wants to avoid, but he swings out around, and how does he end up? Well, he's very close to the 8 ball, but it looks like he has a good line to shoot it into the top left corner pocket, which he does, taking on a harder shot. We have Jody in the chat, aka Drone Shots, who says, "Come on, Jake." Hi, Jody. Good to see you here. How's everything going? Final back shot for Jake for the win. And Jake Jackson misses the 9 ball. Fortunately for him, he leaves the cue ball in a somewhat tricky position to pot the 9. But it is a potable pot. Jody says hi. Hi, Jody.
They were rushing me to get paperwork done. I did my part.
I was like, today, I guess I'll just email them and see if we're actually doing it.
Kirk looks to be in a jolly mood, Captain Kirk. Can he pot this fairly difficult 9 ball or play good safety? Just one good pot to go up to 3-5. And Kirk almost flukes it in, but misses. Jake's slightly off the rail, so that makes the shot a little easier than being frozen on the rail, but Jake should have a fairly easy, well, not an easy shot, but he has a straight shot. So good shot required here. Can Jake Jackson pot it and go up 6-2? Wow, he makes it. Wow, it rattles in, and Jake Jackson is now up 6-2. That 9 ball almost hung over the pocket. So Jake is relieved that it dropped. Well done to Jake Jackson. Only 2 games away from being on the hill. Can Captain Kirk get back in this game? Will he let Jake the Snake take it away? Let's look at our poll. We have 57% of 7 votes. So 4 votes out of 7 in favor of Jake the Snake, and we have 3 votes, 42% in favor of Captain Kirk. So the poll is a little more evenly matched than the current score. This is now a race to 3 for Jake and a race to 7 for Kirk. Jake Jackson with a strong advantage. Jake had a break and run earlier, so he's been shooting well, but he's also been making some mistakes, like scratching on the right before the 8 ball, giving an easy 2 ball out. This time, it doesn't look like Jake is going to be able to make anything on the break. And leaves Kirk hanging 1 ball to get in this frame.
First house I bought since the new technology, and it's supposed to be easier and better.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
off.
Signing everything online.
Everything
and
is
shit.
no, not even just that. The shit they want you to go.
Kirk Foley is talking
It's
about
hard
how
to do if you don't know
he
how
got
to
a
do
new
it.
house and everything is computer. So Kirk really thinking about some tech here, not focusing on pool perhaps, but that is how it works today. Everything is computer, including Kirk's house. And Kirk Foley might need a computer to avoid missing that shot.
Do something stupid again.
Jake Jackson with a 1-5 combination attempt. Reaching nails really well. The only problematic ball here is the 4 ball, being kind of close to the 8, but Jake's starting to shoot pretty well now, so he should be able to get fairly straight on this 3 ball. Play a stop shot. To have position on the 4. So just a soft screw or a stop shot equivalent to have an angle. On the 4 ball. Jake Jackson here will need to avoid going into the 8. So Jake might choose to spin this off and swing around the 8 ball. This with bottom. Bottom right here. Opening up the angles a little bit and going into the line for the 6. Faced with a cut shot on the 6 ball into the top left corner pocket, to the bottom left corner pocket, but has to avoid the 7. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Cue ball will come back up around the 9. Just as long as he's not snookered by the 9, he'll be okay. And he's just about perfect. Jake Jackson, however, ends up on the rail, which is probably the worst outcome here. Looks like he has just enough angle to force follow and get off the rail. So Jake Jackson might choose to either force follow or go rail first here to get on the 8. The rail first shot seems to be the best option. Instead of hitting it directly, he'll go for the rail first. And that's exactly what he does, and it's worked out perfectly for Jake Jackson. So Jake Jackson here just needs to stun out for the 9 ball. And he does that very well, and is about to bring the score up 7-2. Come on, Jake, don't choke on the 9 ball. You got this. Really good run by Jake Jackson if he makes this 9. And straight into the heart of the pocket. Jake the Snake with a 5-game advantage here. Things not looking so good for Captain Kirk Foley. Looks like Kirk is chilling.
ever played around in one time? No?
This is played Lynn 2 weeks ago in a tournament, and that was bad enough.
Oh, really?
Lynn, no, Lynn Wexler.
No, you played, I thought you played real good here yesterday.
That's
Can Kirk
probably
Foley
because-
get back in this match somehow?
It's
He
because
has to
my
shoot a little
best
better
game
than he is right now.
I can miss
Kirk
and
has
still
been
get
missing
away
a lot
with
of easy
it.
shots,
That's my problem.
and frankly not putting much pressure on Jake. And Jake's been getting away with making a lot more mistakes than he should be allowed to get away with. So Kirk needs to tighten up and start punishing Jake for mistakes, because Jake's going to start to get warm and run away with it. However, Kirk looks very relaxed and perhaps a little unbothered. And look at this. Is there a 2-9 combination shot after the 1 ball? Certainly. A 2-9 looks pretty good. So Kirk just has to get on that 2, and he should be able to get an easy win here if he makes that 2-9. Just has to play this with a good amount of follow to go into the right short rail and long rail and back out towards the left long rail. Kirk, does he have a shot on the 2? I think so. The camera angles are sometimes deceiving, but it looks like Kirk should be able to play the 2-9 combination here. That's what he's eyeing. This is not the ideal angle for it, though. If I were Kirk, I would have tried to force follow that to come back out towards the left long rail for a much straighter angle on the 2. This one is fairly acute. So this makes this combination missable. Is Kirk trying to... Let's look at the angle Kirk has here. It's difficult. I'm not sure how much of the 2 ball Kirk can see, with the 6 ball being where it is. Can he avoid going into the 6 ball for the right potting angle for the 2-9 combination? Doesn't look like he was able to even get close there. Jake Jackson comes to the table. He's going to try to play safety, ideally behind the 3 or the 4. Looks like he's targeted the 4 ball. Doesn't quite get there. Leaves Kirk a semi-long distance shot. Kirk's been missing a lot of these, so let's see how Kirk... this will be a good indicator of how Kirk feels right now. Kirk seems to be very relaxed, but maybe perhaps not as focused as he needs to be. And Kirk just places safety there, and it looks like a fairly good one.
No, those balls are 500 bucks.
Jake Jackson, heavily hampered by the 9 ball,
You know,
might be able to clip the edge of the 2 ball. It's hard to tell. Doesn't look like he can see it, so he's going to kick at this. And he misses the kick. Pots the 4. Brings the 7 over the right corner pocket. And gives the ball in hand. So he's done 3 good things for Kirk there. He's removed a ball, brought another one right over the pocket, and given a ball in hand. So that was the best outcome Kirk could have asked for from that ball in hand, from that safety. Well done to Kirk for playing good safety.
It's hard to see on TV what they have.
I have a hard time telling which one.
Wonder what Kirk's going to do with the 5 ball here. He's going to try to play the 5 ball to the bottom left corner pocket, going 1 rail or 2 rails to the left long rail and then to the right long rail to get behind the 5 to the bottom left corner pocket. If he does, he'll just play this with a little bit top, touch of left, and cuts across the zone, but the speed control is just about perfect. So really good shot by Kirk. A little bit on the wrong side of the 5, but should be able to stun into the bottom short rail and back up for the 6 into the left side pocket. And he does that just fine. 7 to the 8 can be a little tricky. So 6 is potable, but getting from the 7 to the 8 is perhaps a tricky part here. Ideally, it's kind of unpredictable, but what might be the best shot from the 7 to the 8 is to go into the 8 from the 7. So let's see what Kirk does here. Does a good job reducing the distance, and he ends up in quite a good position for it. He could... I don't think there's enough room to go around the 8 ball, between the 8 ball and the short rail. So Kirk might just have to choose to go into the 8-ball. But in doing so, he could end up in a bad position. So the other option is to go 2 rails with heavy left, heavy top left, to swing around and to get a cut on the 8-ball. That looks like what he goes into the 8-ball, but that's not a good outcome. That's a terrible outcome for Kirk Foley, because now he's frozen on the rail with a tough shot on the 8-ball. Fortunately, he has a shot, not an easy one. Being frozen on the rail makes the shot very missable. But one good shot and position is fairly automatic to get on the 9. Just has to pot it medium speed and he'll be perfect on the 9. One good pot required. And Kirk unable to get it. And where's the 8-ball going to end up? Look at that. Look at that. Kirk gets fairly fortunate there. Very fortunate indeed. And cuts off the cut into the top right corner pocket for Jake with that side pocket scratch. So Jake will not be able to cut it into the top right corner pocket, unless I'm mistaken. Yep, definitely doesn't look like he can cut it without scratching. So Jake is just going to play a safety using the point of the pocket. Very clever. Good touch by Jake. And I think he's got it.
He's still a long way from scratching, actually.
Really good shot by Jake Jackson using the point, or what people call the nipple of the pocket, the side pocket. We have Trace Berta in the chat, one of the most loyal Billiard Breakdown subscribers. Says, well, by God, how's it going? Hey, Trace Berta, it's going quite well. Good to see you here. And Kirk Foley, unable to make contact, concedes ball in hand, wanted to well out Jake Jackson, who should bring the score up to 8-2 and get on the hill with a 6-game advantage. And Jake will have no problem doing just that. Trace Berta says kid stuff. Not sure if Trace Berta meant kid stuff or kid is tough. We have Christine Strong in the chat. Hey Christine, how's it going? Christine Strong is the tournament director at Billiard Breakdown, and now she also works at Billiard Breakdown. So come by Billiard Breakdown if you want to see her. She says that was a brilliant save by Jake. I agree. Using the point of the pocket and not scratching, because you need to control the speed very well, because just a little more pace there and you would have conceded the ball in hand. So risky save, but a very good one nonetheless. Christine says, hey, hello, are you coming in today, Christine?
A 19-year-old girl from the Dinah school. She graduated. She's on.
Christine Strong and Michael Lynn are running a 3-man Billiard Breakdown league for 8-ball on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m., which are going to be live streamed on the 9-foot tables on the TV table. So stay tuned every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the 3-man league. It's quite a lot of exciting games, great players. We have some of the best players from Rochester playing in the league, like Sean Zhang, Dan Charlo, Ron Casancio. So we have quite a few bangers of matches. So stay tuned at 7 p.m. every Tuesday here at Billiard Breakdown for some really good 8-ball matches on the 9-foot tables. Christine Strong says, shout out to Paul's girl. Thank you, Christine. And she says she's not in today. Friday tourney in the working bar all weekend long. All right. Christine Strong, have you considered raising your Saturday tournament's Fargo entry cap to 526? I know a few people who'd be interested in playing in more of your 8-ball tournaments if the entry was 526 and not 525. We have Brian Axtell says Kirk needs to get to work. Well, Brian, it's a little late for that, don't you think? But look at that safety by Jake Jackson. Really good safety by Jake Jackson. He was worried that the 1-ball would pot, but it stays out. Christine Strong says the 3-man league has such great feedback. Everyone is loving the format with a mix of singles and doubles. Absolutely. It's a really good format, and I'll explain it for those of you that aren't aware. There are 3 people on every team, every Tuesday, one team plays another team. One of those matches will be fully streamed on the TV table. There are going to be 3 rounds of singles 8-ball, where every player plays every other player on the opponent's team, alternating breaks between rounds. There's going to be 2 rounds of Scotch doubles, again, with every combination of players playing every other combination of players. And then finally, there's going to be a captain's choice game, where the captain of each team puts up their player and they play a race to 3 for 3 points, or 2 points, if it's a washout or not. So the way the league works is every win is counted as 1 point for the winning team. And at the end of the season, the team with the most points total wins $1,500 in cash and 6 months of free table time at Billiard Breakdown. It's quite a good price there. Christine, correct me if I made any mistakes in explaining that, but you guys should stay tuned and check out the new 9-foot league at Billiard Breakdown. All the 9-foot tables at Billiard Breakdown have been freshly refelted with Simonis 860 cloth. And they play beautifully now. Only the TV table is shark gray. All the others are Simonis tournament blue cloth, like the ones you see in the background. Swing by Billiard Breakdown for the best pool tables. 5 hours of anywhere from here. Really good food, great bar drinks and bartenders, and amazing company and pool players. Billiard Breakdown in Rochester, New York. Christine Strong says it was a good explanation, and she could squeeze 1 late entry team if they roster up before Monday. So currently I think we have 9 teams, is that correct, Christine? There is room for 1 more team, but it has to be done quickly. So if you're interested with 2 of your friends to join the Billiard Breakdown 3-man league here, you feel free to contact Christine Strong. We only have room for 1 team, and you need to get that done before Monday. So keep an eye out for the league games on Tuesday. Kirk Foley, with a fairly good run so far, but now faced with quite a challenging back shot for the 7-ball into the top right corner pocket. Needs to avoid the scratch. The cue ball is naturally going to track fairly close to that top left corner pocket, but should be able to avoid it. Go 2 rails out to get the right line for the 8-ball in the bottom right corner pocket. So the key here is to play this relatively center with a touch of left, perhaps. But Kirk is elevated, which makes this veer towards that side pocket, but he screws out. Kirk tries to avoid the scratch by using bottom with elevation, causing the cue ball to curve back out, avoiding the corner pocket scratch, but missing the ball. Jake Jackson is on the hill. 3-ball out. Can he finish this and take the number 5 rank in Rochester, New York? Not quite. Jake Jackson really looks a little angry with himself for missing that. He's just a little, shows a few signs of consternation. Hasn't left anything easy for Kirk Foley. Kirk is faced with a relatively tough cut into the left side pocket if he wants to go for the pot, which at this stage, if he misses, if he doesn't get a good safety, it could be over for him. So if I were Kirk, I'd go for this pot, put everything into it, and it looks like he's doing just that. Left side pocket cut, should have fairly natural position on the 8-ball, but ends up at distance. We have Matt Kalaki in the chat, says, "What up, Paul? Good commentary." Thanks, Matt. Good to see you here. This match is almost over, but Kirk is at the table. Jake Jackson on the hill, about to clinch the number 5 title, but can Kirk Foley keep him at bay? Kirk Foley seems to have woken up, guys. Kirk is now not missing those long pots. But I'm not going to speak too soon. He still has his 9-ball. Can Kirk keep Jake the Snake at bay and live to fight another frame? And Kirk does not. And wow, look at that, guys. Wow. Unfortunately for Kirk, the 9-ball is pottable. So Kirk got lucky in not scratching, but the 9-ball does pot. So Jake Jackson should be able to make this without too much of an issue. Let's look at this really closely. What an outcome. Almost potted the cue ball off the 9-ball. The 9-ball is off the point, so that means it should cut into the bottom right corner pocket. Not an easy shot because it's a cut. The cue ball will track towards that second diamond, or between the second and third diamond on the left, bottom left rail. So let's see if, so I don't think there's any scratch possibility, but, well, it's not a terrible outcome. Jake misses, but leaves a somewhat challenging bank shot for Kirk. Kirk, being a one-pocket player, might be able to make this bank. Let's see how good his banking is. He's not a bad one-pocket player. He's elevating. So he's going for the left side pocket, it looks like. And he makes it in the right side pocket, does he? Nope. And he scratches. Wow. All right, so the score is now 9-2. What a match, guys. I'll get Jake Jackson in here for a quick post-match interview. Well done. Congratulations to Jake Jackson. Well done to both players. We'll get Jake the Snake Jackson in here momentarily. It looks like they're trying to set up the same shot that Jake missed, and let's see if Jake can make it this time. Nope. So that is Roger Jackson, Jake's dad, setting up the shot for Jake to try again. So the issue here with the shot, in my opinion, is that when you hit it with a lot of top and elevated, you cause the object ball to drag forward. So you get a little bit of throw from there. So let me get Jake Jackson in here once he's done. Roger Jackson tries his hand. All right, I'm going to get them in here.
I thought I'd get lucky and hit it.
I knew that was a tough night.
Yeah, I didn't know it was frozen over here. You remember Tim Draper, right? You must remember it now. He moved to Florida. He bought a diamond table. It's probably come over too.
Hey everyone, we have the new number 5 ranked player in Rochester, Jake Jackson, here in the commentary booth. First of all, Jake, well done. That was quite a win. 9-2.
Yeah, it was a big win. He was really off tonight.
Right. And so were you in some ways. You missed a couple shots. You gave him a couple ball in hands on that 8-ball, the 2-ball outs.
Yeah, the beginning I was doing really bad. Really, the whole match I was on and off.
Right.
I would play really good, and then I'd get really bad.
Right, and you had a break and run kind of in the middle of the match, so that was really good. You shot really well there. Some really good positional pots, but I feel like you may not have played your best either, but you got away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I was lucky that he wasn't playing good.
Yeah. Well, so what made you... How did you play 9-ball? I know that Kirk has a choice of the game, and one pocket is his game.
Well, he told me last night that I could choose the game next time.
Okay. So he didn't have to do that, but he let you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, that was very nice of him. And would you have felt good about playing one pocket with him again, or?
Yeah. My break was better because last night, really, I think I lost because my break was so bad. Because I won off his break twice, and I scratched on the break.
Are you talking about the one pocket game?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really get to see that fully, but well, now you're through. Now you're ranked number 5. Let's look at who's above you now. Let's see. In rank number 4, you have T, then you have Case, who's not currently here, then Ron, Dan, and Sean. So, who do you think you'll get next?
I recovered our table at home and did a super nice
Coley
job
isn't?
fighting a
Case isn't?
I don't think Case is in the U.S. at the moment. He's traveling.
Oh, okay.
But T, do you think you're going to take T on?
I'll probably take T at some point.
All right, awesome. Well, really well done. You've climbed your way through the ranks. You've had some really good wins here. Very decisive win against Kirk. Any thoughts? Anything that you have to say to your audience?
Well, we have these tickets we're selling for the national.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's we're selling these tickets. It helps me get to the tournament, and we send them to the national. And they put them in this box, and whoever wins will win.
Which tournament is this national?
The junior national.
Junior national, and where is it at?
It's in Quincy, Illinois.
Oh no, and when is it?
July. It's in July. I know that.
Okay, and if anyone wants these tickets, how are they going to get their hands on them?
Whenever you can call up my dad.
Okay. You have a Facebook page as well, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of your Facebook page?
Jake Jackson.
Jake Jackson. Okay.
Yeah, and whoever
Awesome.
wins is can win a $2,000 peach hour queue.
Oh wow, Peach Hour Q for $2,000, and the fundings and the proceeds from the tickets support Jake Jackson to go to the National Junior Championships.
Yeah.
How much are the tickets?
I'm not sure. I think they were like 10 or 20.
All
or
right, so
15.
everyone in the chat, make sure you get your tickets to win a $2,000 Peach Hour Q and help send Jake to the National Juniors Championships. And hope you're getting some good training and practice for that. We
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you do really well. You've been shooting phenomenally recently, and keep it up.
Yep.
Awesome, Jake. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, with that, we'll be ending the stream today. Thanks for watching. Congratulations to Jake Jackson once again. Well done to Kirk Foley. Very gracious of him to allow 9-ball to be played today. So we have a new number 5, which will be Jake Jackson. Kirk Foley will move to rank number 6. So we look forward to some really good matches. Jake might play T eventually. T is a really good player. That'll be a great match. And we'll see how far Jake is going to be able to go. Is he going to be able to challenge Ron, Dan, and Sean? That'll be quite interesting, so stay tuned. Once again, thanks to everybody for watching. Great game. Well done to Jake Jackson for a decisive 9-2 victory against Kirk Foley. All right, guys, have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in.
I can't do that. I'll get myself in trouble.